Thank you for being here. Okay. Dr. Hefner.
Well, I certainly want to thank you for your kind words at your last meeting with regard to my evaluation of the achievement of the goals that you established for me for 14-15, and I have presented to you a draft of some proposed goals for the current year that we're in. It's very modeled very much after last year's couple of key changes, and certainly this is a draft, and as you will recall, you're free to delete and add. I mean, it's your goals for me, so I would be happy to accept whatever recommendations you have for me, either now or throughout the next several days as I work on finalizing it for your a formal vote at your next meeting.
Dr. Hefner, do you want to touch on each of these goals? Some of them, for instance, number 2 and number 5, they don't have any elaboration, so I think it would be helpful for the board to get a better understanding of those goals.
Sure. Well, the number 1 is almost a duplicate of last year's, which is focusing on what I think my number 1 job is, which is to sustain and enhance our record of excellence in student achievement, and have given you the traditional measures. I took out the ones that were no longer applicable, like the report card goes away, and then added as the number 8 under that to increase the number of community agencies and businesses that partner with special services to focus on our students with disabilities, because I think that's one that needs to be added to our list, in addition to continue to focus on our things like SAT, ACT. The second one is to develop an updated 5-year strategic plan. Our plan is ending, and so we have to create a new one, and it will come, to you for your review. But that, to me, is a goal in and of itself. Is do we have the updated strategic plan or not? Goal 3 is really following up on our primary finding from our advanced ed study, that we develop a strategic resource management plan to ensure an alignment of the system's purpose and direction. I shortened their words, but you'll recall that that was their number 1 finding for us, is that we needed to work on that. We have too many things that operate as silos, and we don't have enough of the pieces talking to each other. So that's, again, a plan that we'll have to prepare and submit to advanced ed. So really, the achievement of it is if we have that plan developed or not. And again, it would come to you. So you would determine if it meant that or not. 4 is, continuing our emphasis on access to and utilization of technology, very similar to what we've had before. And 5 is another plan. So I recognize that this year we'll be working on several key plans. But this one is about creating and securing your approval for a 5-year facilities construction, facilities improvement plan. We're finishing up all the projects from the 2008 bond referendum and our Vision 2015, so we need to create a plan and get it approved. 6 and 7, I will probably make a couple of changes there. I think they carried forward pretty much from last year, and I didn't catch that we had updated a couple of the items under those, but still dealing with the safety of our students and staff and improving the emotional, psychological, physical well-being of our students. Number 8, continue to expand our communication system within the district, something we've been working on and I think making great strides in, and we continue to do that. Number 9, I wonder where this one came from, Madam Chair. But to build the district's reputation as being environmentally responsible, and I think you saw the results of our previous effort tonight with
Goal met.
What's that name?
Goal met.
Goal met.
Yes.
We need to continue that. There, I know. Speaking just for me, I know that I cannot place a empty water bottle in the regular trash. I have to find the correct recycle spot for it.
Don't ask him why he has that issue.
I made that mistake one time. One last time. And number 10, we want to make sure that we're ensuring the effective and efficient utilization of our fiscal and physical resources. So something that we're continuing to work on. So again, that's my drafted goals for your consideration.
Okay, how about the board members? Do you have any questions? Ms. Hammond?
Ms. Hutchinson, I'd like to just ask, I'm just curious, as with our technology, your goal for, Dr. Hefner, do each of our schools, because this may make your goal harder to implement, can each of the schools on their own site decide whether they have, the tablets or the Chromebooks, as far as the specific technology in the classroom? Because I know it varies across, our district where I teach. I know it varies, I've had this conversation with Ms. Spearman. We have different amounts of money, but how do you see, and which would be part of your goal, do you think it should be the same everywhere, at least with some of it?
I like the opportunity for there to be some divergence, but I know from a practical standpoint,
Yeah.
we get the bigger bang on our buck when we're more alike. But of course, here we have one device we use for high schools, we have another device we use for middle schools, and we have a plan for elementary, which we haven't implemented yet, which would be a common device across elementaries. But we do have some elementary schools who've purchased their own devices through other grants, including the Magnet Grant. So, but to answer your question, we plan through our technology committee, I believe, which Mr. White referenced earlier, that we want to be a device adaptive system. We don't want to be dependent on just one device.
thing.
We recognize that the devices are changing, and we want our students to be comfortable changing devices and using them. Yet, from a infrastructure standpoint, we are better able to maintain service and keep up when we don't have 100 different applications
yes.
out there to keep up
That
with.
was
So it's a balance.
I got you. Thank you.
How about any other questions or comments? Mr. White?
I just looked at all these goals. I'm sorry I missed your evaluation last time, and I was like, yeah, everybody did a good
It was
job.
raved.
But I guess the one thing I'd add, I know we talked about our budget, and we've talked about trying to bring a level of awareness to the fundamental problem in our funding. And should we put something on here, or is it fair to put something on here that we basically, we need to take that conversation up to another level. I mean, we need to take it to our not only the School Board Association, but the similar districts in the state that are affected like we are. And I think, Lynn, you said it's the districts that have high growth. They're generally adjacent to a major or larger metropolitan area, and they don't have a heavy base of businesses. And this whole shift of funding, I mean, my biggest concern is that the systems are too complex and nobody really sees what's happening. I think we got to picture a close view of that in our budget cycle. And I think we can't control it directly, but we can try to communicate it effectively. And
I wonder if that would work under goal 10, maybe adding another item under there, which is to, whatever wording you all recommend, but to communicate our unique budgetary
circumstances.
circumstances.
Problems that are going to occur, and the audience would be obviously the legislature, the School Board Association, and similarly situated districts, because it's a bigger problem than just the 7 of us sitting here, and it takes a broader level of understanding and awareness and it won't happen by accident. It's got to be something focused and channeled and worked on.
You think it fits under goal 10?
Yeah, because
All right. I'll work on adding that. If you have suggested wording to give me, I'll be happy to receive it.
And you don't have to have it tonight.
No.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
send you something.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah.
I was gonna make it up
No,
off the
no,
top of my head.
I know you're gonna work on them tonight.
I had to ad-lib the prayer, but I had Larry to help. Now, he's all the way across there. He can't. I need Larry over here.
As long as you have it by 8 a.m. in the morning.
All right, maybe 9 o'clock, but I'll have it for you.
I think that's a great idea, Mr. White. Probably regarding School Boards Association, that would be more our responsibility as opposed to the superintendent's. Would you agree with that? That would be our role? And,
I'll let the head, aren't you the head
Yeah,
of the
he's
school
the
board?
press.
yeah,
I'll let you render the decision.
And I would
on
have
that.
agreed, but we can't lay that on the superintendent.
right,
I
right.
think Mr. White's piece of that is well taken, too. We got to raise the level of awareness. There's no doubt
But yeah,
about it.
sometimes we're not just,
Yeah,
sometimes we're not just raising awareness among the, we're raising among friends and we're letting other people know. It doesn't always mean, well, this person does that and others. So, the people like the School Board Association works along with us. And so making them aware is not, is something that benefits both, because the school board is tied to success, academic success for our state, the same way we are for our district. So we're not, at odds, we're working together, and so sometimes it's just a matter of making sure that all of our allies, that we have them in a coalition.
thank you. Any other comments about that goal or some of the other goals? I do have one question. I'm looking at goal number 3, which came from our advanced ed and the strategic resource management plan. I'm having a problem with that title. It's just, I think it's part of the advanced ed. And I'm wondering if there's a title that better, or words that better explain what that is.
There probably are.
Could you take a look at some words? I mean, it sounds like a very specific education term, and I think for those of us not in K through 12 education, I think it would be more helpful, and it would help us understand it a little bit better.
I'll work on that.
Okay. Okay, are there any other comments you'd like to make, Dr. Hefner?
None, other than, again, I'm going to work on what you give me as being priorities to do, and if something hits you later this evening or the next couple of days, send it to me, and I'll be happy to incorporate it in the next document that comes to you.
Okay. And I also want to bring to the board's attention, the back of your, the materials in your packet are the Comprehensive Health Advisory Committee for 2015-16, so if you'll take a look at that. And is this something that we'll be voting on? No, just for our information. Okay. And the next regular school board meeting will be November the 9th at Irmo High School. Seeing no other questions, I'll adjourn the meeting. Oh, I will take a motion, thank you.
I move that we end the meeting.
You know, it's after 8:30, and we've gotten in such a habit, my brain fried. Actually, it froze. Froze.
Her brain is frozen.
It is truly frozen.
The air conditioning did it.
Ms. Hammond,
I make
you
that
moved.
motion.
Ms. Lovelace seconds. Any comments? All right, seeing none, all in favor, please raise your hands. All opposed, that passes 7-0. Now,
Good job.
All of y'all take you some water home. We got lots of water. Y'all want some
5
water?
bottles of water.
We can start giving out bottles of water.